Hello and welcome back. Today, we'll explore the incredible life lessons of Steve Jobs, a man who revolutionized technology, business, and creativity. But here's the important part. His lessons are not only for entrepreneurs or inventors. They are for all of us, students, professionals, dreamers, and anyone who wants to create a better version of themselves. We're going to break down 5 powerful rules Steve Jobs lived by. These aren't abstract ideas. They are practical lessons you can apply today to work smarter, dream bigger, and live more intentionally. So let's dive in. Follow your passion. One of Jobs' most famous lines is, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do."
I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did.
Think about that. Most people spend 1/3 of their life working. If you're not passionate about what you do, that's 1/3 of your life feeling unfulfilled. When Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage, he didn't do it for money. In fact, Apple was tiny, broke, and competing against massive corporations. What kept him going was passion, the excitement of creating something that could change lives. Even when Jobs was fired from Apple in 1985, he didn't stop working. Why? Because he loved technology, design, and innovation. That passion gave him the strength to keep creating, which later led to Pixar and Next. Lesson for us. Passion gives you fuel when motivation runs out. If you're struggling to find passion, don't panic. Start by exploring, try new things, follow curiosity. Passion isn't always a lightning strike. Sometimes it grows as you invest time and energy into something meaningful. Ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? What problems in the world do I care enough to solve? That's where your passion lives. Connect the dots. In his Stanford commencement speech, Jobs said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." This is one of the most comforting lessons in self-development. Why? Because it tells us we don't need to have everything figured out right now. Jobs' own life was proof. After dropping out of college, he randomly took a calligraphy class. At the time, it had no practical use. But years later, it became the reason Apple computers had beautiful typography, something no other computer had at the time. Lesson for us. Every experience, even the useless ones, matters. The job you dislike, the rejection letter, the tough class, the failed business, they're all dots. Alone, they don't make sense. But one day, you'll look back and see how they connected to shape your story. So instead of worrying, trust the process. Collect experiences, learn from failures, be patient. Your dots will connect when the time is right. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Jobs ended his Stanford speech with these iconic words. Stay hungry, stay foolish. What does that mean? Stay hungry means never stop learning, never settle, and always push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Jobs wasn't satisfied just creating computers. He wanted to create music players, phones, tablets, entire ecosystems that transform daily life. His hunger for innovation drove Apple to become the most valuable company in the world. Stay foolish means daring to dream when others doubt you. Remember, when Jobs suggested that people would want a computer in their homes, most experts laughed. When he imagined a phone that was just one screen, no buttons, people thought it was impossible. But his foolish ideas became the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone. Lesson for us. Being hungry means refusing to be average. Being foolish means daring to stand out. In your life, that could mean learning a new skill, starting a side project, or chasing a dream others call unrealistic. Ask yourself, am I staying hungry for growth, or am I stuck in comfort? Am I staying foolish enough to believe in dreams others don't yet see? The people who change the world aren't the ones who play it safe. They are the ones who dare to be foolish. Embrace failure. Here's a story. In 1985, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the very company he started. Can you imagine how humiliating that must have felt? But instead of quitting, Jobs described it later as the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? Because failure gave him freedom. It forced him to start fresh, to think creatively again. Out of that failure came Next and Pixar. Pixar went on to create Toy Story, the world's first full-length animated film. And Next's technology became the foundation of Apple's comeback. Lesson for us. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a stepping stone to success. Most of us are afraid of failing, afraid of what people will think, afraid of losing time or money. But what if failure isn't the end? What if it's the very thing that prepares us for the future? Think about this. If Jobs hadn't failed at Apple, he wouldn't have built Pixar. Without Pixar, we wouldn't have movies like Finding Nemo or The Incredibles. Without Next, Apple wouldn't have become the giant it is today. Action step. The next time you fail, don't say, "I failed." Instead say, "I'm learning." Failure isn't permanent. It's just feedback. Focus and simplicity. Jobs once said, "Simple can be harder than complex." You have to work hard to get your thinking clean to make it simple. This principle shaped everything Apple created. Look at the iPhone. It's simple, clean, and easy to use. But behind that simplicity is years of hard work and deep thinking. Jobs believed in ruthless focus. When he returned to Apple in 1997, the company was struggling, producing dozens of confusing products. Jobs cut almost everything and told the team to focus on just a few. The result? Products like the iMac, iPod, and eventually the iPhone. Lesson for us. Life is full of noise. We're pulled in different directions, distracted by endless options, and overwhelmed by too many goals. But true progress comes from focus. Ask yourself, what are the one or two things that truly matter in my life right now? What distractions can I cut away? Simplicity doesn't mean doing less. It means doing the right things. It means clearing the clutter, both physical and mental, so you can focus on what really moves your life forward. Action step. Write down your top 3 priorities for the next 6 months. Focus on those. Say no to the rest. That's how you create meaningful progress. Steve Jobs' rules weren't just about building products. They were about building a meaningful life. Follow your passion. It gives you energy when motivation fades. Connect the dots. Trust that your experiences will make sense in time. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Keep growing, keep dreaming. Embrace failure. Use it as fuel, not as defeat. Focus and simplify. Do what matters most and cut out the noise. Your life doesn't have to mirror Steve Jobs to be extraordinary. You just need to take these lessons and apply them to your own journey. Remember this quote from Jobs: "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." So go out there, be bold, be hungry, be foolish, and change the way you see life.